in a small coastal barangay in the Philippines, where rusted tin roofs rattled under monsoon rains and electricity flickered like a dying candle, lived a boy named Mateo. Poverty was not just a condition of his life. It was the air he breathed. Every morning before the sun rose, Mateo would wake to the sound of his mother coughing softly in the corner of their one-room home, weakened by years of labor and little rest. His father had passed away when Mateo was 8, leaving behind nothing but an old acoustic guitar with missing strings and a promise he once made. "One day, your voice will take you farther than I ever could." Mateo attended school when he could, but most days were spent selling recycled plastic bottles or helping fishermen haul nets for spare coins. Hunger was a constant companion, yet somehow, music filled the emptiness. At night, when the village finally grew quiet, Mateo would sit under a flickering street lamp, strumming the broken guitar and singing to the stars, songs of hope, loss, and dreams bigger than his circumstances. He didn't know it then, but those lonely nights were shaping a voice powerful enough to cross oceans. As Mateo grew older, his voice matured into something rare, raw yet controlled, trembling with emotion but grounded in soul. People in the village would stop and listen when he sang, some wiping away tears, others whispering that his talent was God-given. Still, dreams felt dangerous when survival came first. The idea of traveling to America, let alone auditioning for America's Got Talent, sounded impossible, almost cruel. Mateo didn't even own a passport. But fate has a way of knocking when you least expect it. One afternoon, a tourist recorded Mateo singing near a market and uploaded the video online. Within weeks, it spread like wildfire. Comments poured in from around the world, urging him to audition. A local nonprofit saw the video and stepped in, helping him secure travel documents and an AGT audition slot. On the flight to Los Angeles, Mateo clutched his father's old guitar, hand shaking, not from fear alone, but from the weight of representing every forgotten child who dared to dream. He wasn't chasing fame. He was chasing a future where his mother would never have to choose between medicine and food again. The AGT stage was unlike anything Mateo had ever imagined. Blinding lights, towering cameras, a sea of unfamiliar faces. Backstage, his heart pounded so hard he thought it might betray him. When his name was called, he walked onto the stage slowly, almost hesitantly, dressed in a simple jacket borrowed from a volunteer. Simon Cowell leaned forward, curious but unreadable. "Tell us about yourself," Simon said. Mateo swallowed and told his story, not with drama, but with quiet honesty. He spoke of poverty, of his mother, of singing to survive. The room fell silent. Then Simon asked the question that changed everything. "Why are you here?" Mateo looked straight ahead and replied, "Because music is the only thing that ever made me feel like my life mattered." He began to sing. The first note was soft, almost fragile, but then his voice rose, filling the theater with pain, hope, and unbreakable spirit. It wasn't just a performance, it was a confession. A lifetime of struggle poured into every word. As the song unfolded, something extraordinary happened. The audience stopped breathing. Judges exchanged glances. And Simon Cowell, the man known for his brutal honesty, froze. His usual smirk disappeared, replaced by something rare, disbelief mixed with emotion. Mateo's voice cracked at just the right moment, not from weakness, but from truth. When the final note faded, there was a split second of silence. Then the entire theater erupted. A standing ovation thundered through the room. Simon stood too, shaking his head slowly. "I've heard thousands of singers," he said, voice unusually soft, "but very few make me feel something this real." Tears shimmered in his eyes as he added, "This is why this show exists." The judges praised not just Mateo's talent, but his courage. That night, the poor boy from a forgotten village wasn't invisible anymore. He was seen. He was heard. And in that moment, everything changed. Mateo's audition went viral within hours. Headlines read, "Poor Filipino boy shocks Simon Cowell, and from poverty to stardom." Messages of support flooded in from around the world. Donations poured into his village. His mother received medical care she had gone without for years. Each week on AGT, Mateo returned stronger, more confident, yet never forgetting where he came from. He dedicated every performance to children who slept hungry, to parents who sacrificed everything, to dreams delayed but not denied. When he finally reached the finals, he didn't see himself as a contestant anymore. He saw himself as proof. Proof that talent knows no borders. Proof that poverty does not define destiny. Win or lose, Mateo had already transformed his life and the lives of countless others who saw themselves in his story. Today, Mateo's journey is told in schools, villages, and online platforms as a symbol of resilience. He didn't just rise from poverty. He carried others with him. His story reminds the world that behind every overnight success is years of unseen struggle, silent tears, and stubborn hope. Standing on the AGT stage, under lights brighter than the stars he once sang to, Mateo fulfilled his father's promise. Stardom didn't change him, it amplified his purpose. And somewhere in a small Philippine village, another child now sings under a street lamp, believing, just a little more, that dreams are possible. Because one poor boy dared to sing, and the world finally listened. Globe showing Europe, Africa, microphone sparkles.